Welcome, family, to today's lesson. First, I would like to extend a huge thank you to all my subscribers. It is greatly appreciated, and also to those who have been sharing the video lessons. May Yah continue to bless you in abundance. Let us begin. Imagine walking through a jungle, knowing a lion is lurking nearby, silent, patient, and ready to pounce. That's the picture Peter paints for us in 1 Peter 5:8. 1 Peter 5:8, Amplified Bible. 8. Be sober, well-balanced and self-disciplined. Be alert and cautious at all times. That enemy of yours, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, fiercely hungry, seeking someone to devour. In today's lesson, we'll uncover what it truly means to stay alert, to guard our hearts, and to resist the enemy's traps. Because the battle is real, but so is the victory we have in Yah through Messiah. The apostle had already encouraged believers to live this way before in 1 Peter 1:13. 1 Peter 1:13. So prepare your minds for action. Be completely sober, in spirit, steadfast, self-disciplined, spiritually and morally alert. Fix your hope completely on the grace of Elohim that is coming to you when Yahawashi HaMashiach is revealed. Also in 1 Peter 4:7, we read 1 Peter 4:7, Amplified Bible. The end and culmination of all things is near. Therefore, be sound-minded and self-controlled for the purpose of prayer, staying balanced and focused on the things of Elohim so that your communication will be clear, reasonable, specific, and pleasing to Him. Peter repeats the instruction here in these 2 verses, recognizing that sobriety and watchfulness are essential for the believers and followers of Yahawashi. One cannot truly exist without the other. What does it mean to be sober and vigilant? It means clear-minded, self-controlled, and disciplined. If you are not sober, both in body and in mind, you will fail to stay watchful, whether over yourself, over others, or against the snares of sin, Satan, and the world. Likewise, without vigilance and a guarded heart, one becomes vulnerable to every sin and temptation. The Syriac translation expresses it as watch and be mindful, implying a careful and attentive awareness, diligently observing everything around you and remembering the cunning and power of the enemy. The Ethiopic version renders it as, be prudent and let your heart understand, shifting the focus from mere physical temperance to a sobriety of mind and wise conduct, knowing that we face an enemy who is both subtle and malicious. In the days that we are currently living in, we all need to be alert, watchful, and ready to act. Matthew 26:41 instructs us to watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. This warning is also repeated in 1 Thessalonians 5:6. So then, let us not sleep in spiritual indifference as the rest of the world does, but let us keep wide awake, alert and cautious, and let us be sober, self-controlled, calm, and wise. We should all strive to avoid spiritual distractions such as pride, fear, bitterness, or temptation. Because the devil prowls around like a roaring lion, what does that mean? He, the devil, is a slanderer and a false accuser, one who accuses the Most High before men, and men before Yah, which is why he is called the accuser of the brethren. Satan is the open and relentless enemy of the followers of the Messiah. He opposes humanity as a whole, but primarily targets the seed of the woman, Yahawashi, himself, and all who belong to him, the chosen people of Abba Yah. The word used here is a legal term, describing an adversary in a courtroom, someone who brings charges, argues a case, or stands in opposition during a trial. It represents a legal opponent, one who has an active case against another. In the same way, Satan accuses people of breaking the Most High's laws, demanding that justice be carried out and punishment enforced. And he pursues these accusations with relentless zeal and aggression. It means powerful, deceptive, patient, and predatory. John 10:10. The thief does not come except to steal, and to kill, and to destroy. I have come that they may have life, and that they may have it more abundantly. Satan is real, but not omnipotent. Yah is greater as stated in 1 John 4:4. You are of Elohim, little children, and have overcome them, because he who is in you is greater than he who is in the world. Like a roaring lion also means Satan is described this way not only because of his strength, but also because of his raging anger towards Yah's children, deep malice, and cruel intentions toward us. Even though he cannot ultimately destroy us, he will do everything possible to intimidate, terrify, and unsettle us. How does the enemy devour us? 1. Through temptation. Genesis 3. Eve and the serpent. Did Yah really say that? 2. Through deception, twisting Yah's word, teaching doctrine that the Most High's laws have been done away with. We can now eat whatever we like because we are under grace. Twisting Yah's word that we can now celebrate all the pagan holidays and Yah will just wink at us. If you are in any of these categories, you need to repent. How does the enemy devour us? 3. Through isolation, meaning pulling believers away from fellowship with the Most High. All of a sudden, you no longer read the Word, you no longer pray, you know something is wrong. But because you are isolated, your voice becomes your guide and not the voice of the Most High. 4. Through discouragement and fear, making believers forget who they are in Yahweh. Prowls around to and fro in the earth, as in Job 1:7-7. And the Most High said to Satan, "From where do you come?" So Satan answered Yahweh and said, "From going to and fro on the earth, and from walking back and forth on it." Just like a starving lion prowls restlessly, searching for prey, Satan roams the earth with relentless hunger. A significant problem for many of us today is that we are unaware of the spiritual warfare in which we are engaged, and we live a double-minded life. 1 minute passionate for Yah, and the next as cold as ice. This also illustrates his deceitful tactics, schemes, and strategies to catch people off guard and gain an advantage over them. He circles, looking for the perfect vigilant and always on guard. Ask yourself, am I diligent in my relationship with the Most High? What kind of fruit am I producing in my life? Do I have 1 foot in the Scriptures and 1 foot in the world? Am I offering sacrifices to the Most High, but not offering obedience? If you cannot answer any of these questions honestly, then take heed. The enemy constantly searches for opportunities to accuse, to trap, and to devour. His aim is harm, to your soul first, and then to your body, your peace, and even your possessions. Yet take heart. He can do nothing without permission from Yah. Sometimes, as in Job's story, permission is granted to touch the body or circumstances, but never the soul of a believer. Those who belong to Yahweh are safe in his hands, beyond Satan's reach. Still, this truth calls us not to complacency, but to vigilance, to be sober and watchful at all times. How to stand firm. So how do we stand firm when the enemy prowls? 1. Stay rooted in the Word. Psalm 119 verse 11 reminds us to hide the Word in our hearts. Psalm 119 verse 11 reads, "Your word I have hidden in my heart, that I might not sin against you." How can we know that we are sinning against our Creator? By knowing and studying the Torah, and then hide them deep, deep into our hearts, because Yah's word would caution us. It is not enough to sing beautiful worship songs, pray once a month, and read the Bible every 4 weeks. You must be grounded in the Scriptures to stand firm. 2. Live a prayerful life as instructed in Ephesians 6:18. Pray always, praying always, with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, being watchful to this end, with all perseverance and supplication for all the saints. We must stay connected to Yah by having a consistent prayer life. 3. Stand firm in faith. James 4:7 declares, "Submit yourselves therefore to Elohim, resist the devil, and he will flee from you." The battle is not ours alone. Victory comes through our Abba Yah, who has already overcome the world. His aim is to find grounds to accuse us so that we might fall prey to his traps. This is the work he is constantly engaged in, always looking for ways to cause harm, whether to the soul, the body, or the possessions of men, though his most significant focus is always on the soul. Yet he can do nothing unless granted permission. Sometimes that permission extends to afflicting the body or one's circumstances, as in the case of Job, but never the souls of Yah's chosen ones. Those who belong to him are secure in his hands, safe from Satan's reach. Even so, this reality is no excuse for complacency. Instead, it calls believers to remain sober, vigilant, and spiritually alert at all times. Peter's warning is clear. The enemy is real, his attacks are strategic, and the need to stay alert has never been greater, especially in the times that we are now living in around the world. Ask yourself today, where do I need to be more vigilant? What distractions are dulling my spiritual senses? To fully understand verse 8, we need to examine it in context, beginning with verse 6. 1 Peter 5:6. Therefore humble yourselves under the mighty hand of Yah, that he may exalt you in due time. Verse 7, casting all your care upon him, for he cares for you. 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil walks about like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. 9. Resist him, steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same sufferings are experienced by your brotherhood in the world. Notice the flow. Before Peter warns us about the enemy, he reminds us to humble ourselves and to cast our anxieties on Yah. Why? Because pride and worry make us vulnerable. A humble, prayerful heart keeps us spiritually grounded and less exposed to the schemes of the adversary. Only after calling us to humility and trust does Peter issue the command, "Be sober, be vigilant." The enemy is relentless, always watching, always looking for a foothold in our lives. That's why the very next instruction is to resist him, standing firm in your faith. And here's the encouragement. No matter what you're going through, you're not alone. The same trials, the same battles, are being faced by believers across the world. But Yah's promise remains. After the testing, he himself will restore you, strengthen you, and make you unshakable. Stay sober, stay vigilant, and remember, in Yahawashi, you are protected, empowered, and equipped for victory. You are not fighting alone. Thank you for watching. If this lesson blessed you, share it with someone who needs this reminder. Please remember to hit the notification bell so you will know when each new video lesson is uploaded. Finally, please hit the like button so this lesson can be pushed to a wider audience so that people can be encouraged. Stay ready, because the lion still roams, but the lamb has already won. Until next lesson, Shalom.